Hello and welcome
Good,
back to
excellent.
Quickies with Angela and Katie.
I'm Angela Dawn of Authentic Heart Coaching. I'm a tantric sex coach and I help individuals and couples rewrite their sexual story.
And I'm Katie Wilkinson of Katie Coaches. I teach women how to design love, relationships, and a life that serves them through pleasure, not sacrifice.
This is season 5 of Quickies and it is our season of play. And today we're entering what I might call playful intimacy gold.
Because today's topic is one of the cutest and most underrated relationship skills.
Inside jokes, secret languages, and your couple dialect.
These are the things that you say to each other that make no sense to anyone else, but the two of you will just grin instantly.
Yeah, so here's the big idea. Inside jokes, we think of them as silly, but they aren't just silly. They're actually rituals of belonging.
Yes, they're a tiny way that you're saying, you're my person and we share something special together.
Yeah, they're a symbol of that kind of we-ness, like you have your own like microculture within your relationship.
Right. And that microculture can include things like weird phrases or nicknames, or maybe you send each other a certain theme of
Mm,
memes, or voices you do, or pronouncing things a little bit weirdly, or callbacks just to shared memories together.
Yeah, and because it's private, that automatically makes it intimate. So it's kind of like this secret handshake. It's like a secret verbal handshake.
Yeah. 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 I actually do have a secret handshake with my best friend, which is hilarious that we
That's
mentioned the
awesome.
nonverbal language.
Oh my God, I love
Some
that.
other personal examples that come to mind. I from a relationship. I do have an ex I'm still in contact with his
Mhm.
mom is extraordinarily religious. She thought of me as a Jezebel. Like there was always some tension there. So he and I joke like whenever we find anything online, I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna send it to your mom. We're besties. We're getting lunch together. I've got so many inside jokes with friends that just like
Mm.
we've got a lot of weird voices together. We've got weird like made up phrases, goofy words, parroting TV shows and movies together. I do that a
Mm.
lot with family, especially. One that always comes up in my household is a line from Office Space. One of the guys, he's like, I'm a goddamn people person. We say that a lot. And also with one of my best friends, I don't remember how this started, but it was in college. And sometimes we just break into this Russian accent together. We call each other comrade a lot. Like it's just our thing. And it's funny because that is how inside jokes work. You don't really have to
Mm.
know how they started. It's more about how they make you
Mm.
feel when you say them. And you get to just reflect on the richness and the closeness of your relationship anytime one of you brings them up.
100%. Yeah.
So let's break down why humor is actually a relationship superpower.
Well, one thing is that inside jokes kind of diffuse tension. So they can help bring down the charge in an argument or a stressful moment, like without dismissing what matters.
Yes, because humor isn't avoidance when it's done in a loving way. It's very regulating.
Hmm.
The Gottman Institute, they have a love lab that studied this, studied a number of different couples and found that the couples that were most likely to stay together long term were the ones that could crack a joke during an argument to just diffuse that tension, get back to it at a level where they could actually talk about it. And that
Oh,
those couples
awesome.
actually they lasted longer than the ones that either didn't use humor and just continued the argument, or the ones where one person would stonewall and just like shut down the argument from even happening, so you never got through to the conflict. So the humor ones,
Hmm.
humor is the way to go, because humor is disarming, and when it's an inside
Yes.
joke you have that extra layer of nostalgic warmth together that's just like, oh, that brings you back to safety. You're saying to your partner,
Hmm.
I'm still here for us. I can feel this in my body.
Yes, it's like reaffirming your bond, right? And like so that brings up the sort of number two beautiful thing about these inside jokes and relationships. That sort of shared humor creates a we-ness. It's us that knows the joke, right? So it's a reminder that you're on the same team.
Yes. And for the third element here, humor helps couples recover, because after you've had a hard moment together, laughing is a bridge back to connection.
Yeah, when it's that kind of laughter that says like, oh, I still see you, I still like you, gosh, that was tough, and we're okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
Inside jokes and shared laughter can also be surprisingly arousing. We all know the magic of having a funny partnership, or having a funny partner specifically, and just how that's a chemistry gold mine
I mean,
together.
we were talking about this kind of last episode, or the episode when we were talking about sacral laughter, right?
Yes,
I think that's very relevant here. Yeah.
absolutely. Anybody who has not heard that episode, please go back and listen to it. And just like,
Hmm.
even from a colloquial sense, think of when like you're watching a comedy show, how a comedian is that much more attractive after they've made you belly laugh, and how if you're watching something funny with someone who you love and like you're laughing about it together, when you lock eyes and you're like, yeah, we're sharing that moment, we are both enjoying this so much, there are sparks if that's a romantic situation.
Well, I have a comedian crush, Katie, right?
Do you really? I have not heard this.
No, you've never heard me say it. Oh my God.
Who we gotta know.
Oh, I have undying love for Mae Martin.
Oh, I
Like,
think you have
oh,
mentioned this
yeah,
person before.
absolutely. And actually, when this episode airs, I will have already seen them.
Ooh,
So
in person.
I have plans. I have plans for a sign. I'm going to hold up a sign that says, like, I'm a sex coach and I love you, or something like that.
I hope you get called out in the best way.
I really do too. Like, oof, it's going to be wonderful. But anyway, back to what we were talking. Shared laughs are powerful. So powerful that Angela can fall in love. And if you can make each other laugh, you can make each other feel safe, right? If you can make each other laugh. And that safety is really sexy. So
All the time. Safety is
safety
sexy
is
to the nervous
sexy.
system. Women need that especially.
Safety is sexy. So here's the prompt for our listeners. Think back to the early days of your relationship. What were your first inside jokes?
What phrases did you use? What were you laughing at together? What moments became a thing?
Yeah. And are any of those jokes dormant right now? Like they used to exist and then like life got busy or serious or kids came along or whatever.
Because bringing back an old inside joke can feel like you're reopening this love portal together. It's the
Hmm.
power of nostalgia. And they've
Yeah.
studied that nostalgia is so good for your brain just to get you back in
Hmm.
that, like, ooh, delicious, feel good, dopamine state.
Yeah. I often suggest to couples, like when they're trying to reconnect, like think back to what music you used to listen to together when you were a new couple and like put that on. Jokes work the same way. It's like, oh yeah, us. Like that version of us is still here. And oh, I have like the best story about this. So I have a friend, and she doesn't care if I say her name, my friend Julie, um, reunited with um, a college friend, right? And they actually got married. And this was written up in the University of Maryland alumni magazine or whatever. I'll link to it in the show notes. But like, we're talking about my friend Julie was class of 1980 and had been through relationships, was in retirement, living in her 60s as a single woman, and then got together with a friend who was class of 82 or also class of 1980.
Yeah, 80 as
Sounded
well.
really funny. But the funny thing is, in the article that they wrote about the relationship in the University of Maryland alumni publication, was talking about their inside jokes, right? Like it talked about how she drove around in an Oldsmobile with a cork in her mouth, practicing her diction, and like nobody would get that except this guy Barry that she was friends with at the time, right? Or so there were all these inside jokes that were referenced in that article. And I think, that's just an example of the power of these inside jokes. Like this couple had been apart, they'd been friends and had been apart for decades and decades and decades. They came back together and it was like, oh, the old jokes were so important, in their reconnection. Like it was like they were right back to who they had been in college.
I
Hmm.
love that. Remembering the old times together.
Yeah.
What a
Yeah.
great way to feel young forever, too.
Hmm. Hmm. Fantastic.
So now we're going to make this episode a little bit more practical for everybody. We're going to give you concrete exercises so that you can feel these shifts in your own life.
So we're going to give you an assignment, and you're going to create two new phrases in your relationship.
There's going to be one phrase that means I'm horny and a second phrase that means I need comfort. And we deliberately chose these two phrases.
We did, because those are two vulnerable states for a lot of people. And when you make them playful, they become easier to express.
Yes, you're giving your nervous system a ramp instead of a cliff when you have
Hmm.
a
Hmm.
special, silly way to ask for these things.
Yes. Yeah. So examples might be like a code word or a funny emoji or a made up line like the dragon awakens, or maybe a phrase from a show or a silly sound. Um, or like even just faking a request by making it sound formal, like I request one cuddle, please, something like that.
These can
Hmm.
be sweet, they can be unhinged. There's room for infinite creativity here. So for the horny ones, some suggestions that we had, you might say like, "Oh, snuggles, please," or just give kind of like a "hey" with a very specific wink, or even like a smirk with an eyebrow up, and you're just holding the gaze, and your partner, like you guys know what that means, or whatever
Hmm.
works for you. There's total fluidity here.
Yeah. And, if you want to request comfort from your partner, you might say, like, I'm in baby mode, or, can I borrow your nervous system for a minute? Or I need a long hug and no solutions.
Yes. The point is to make this completely yours. Whatever secret language you use, it doesn't need to make sense to anybody else except you and your partner. And it can be more comfortable to ask for these things, maybe not the horny one, but like if you're in public and you're kind of like whispering to
Hmm.
each other and you want comfort, maybe you can do the horny one there too. But like these are things that other people, they wouldn't know what you're asking for anyway. So you get to have that secret little moment there together where you're providing this
Mm.
extra emotional layer of warmth to one another.
Yeah. Yeah.
Makes
Beautiful.
it a little more
And
fun.
so I put out a question about this to my community, so we got to hear some hilarious and heart melting inside jokes from my people.
And they're hilarious. These are so good.
Yeah, so I have one client couple that I've worked with, and the inside joke they shared with me is just in time. So the joke comes out of like a story where they were at a hotel, they were in the shower together, right? And the water was like lukewarm, like not really hot enough. And the hotel maintenance worker was like coming to check the water. And they were in the shower together when the maintenance worker was coming to check the water. And it was like they were finishing up, their sexy time in the shower right before he got there. So it turned into like just in time. It's like, yeah, we did it just in time, literally.
That's one way to heat up your shower water.
Uh, yeah, I mean, ooh, lukewarm water, definitely less desirable. But they finished just in
Funny.
time, right? Another client messaged me about like I guess like they were fixing something, maybe they were on a ladder, like fixing a vent or something like that. And, they were holding their, or maybe their partner was on the ladder fixing the vent, and they like held their partner's ass, or their partner held their ass. And it was like, thanks for the help, the idea of thank you for your support comes to mind, like that phrase.
Literal support.
Literal support. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Clever stuff.
Too funny. And notice how these aren't like trying to be funny in a particular way. It's just here's a personal memory.
Hmm. Yeah.
These are moments that are coming from real life shared experiences of real life couples.
Hmm. Yeah. So the takeaway is like we think about these inside jokes as small, but they aren't small. they're one of the ways couples create belonging.
These are relationship glue. These keep you
Yeah.
solidified over time, being able to have that shared humor together.
And if your sex life, feels heavy or your relationship feels overly serious, tapping into nostalgic humor might be perfect medicine.
And
Mhm.
that's all for this episode of Quickies with Angela and Caity. Next episode, we're going to keep the play energy going, but with a downstairs twist. We're talking about genital worship, pet names, and even some penis puppetry. So stay tuned for that.
All right, lovers, text your partner an inside joke right now or invent one. And remember, play is advanced intimacy.
And with that said, we'll see you next time on Quickies with Angela and Caity.